Hi, my name is Nikita Andreev, representative of Free Equity Foundation, and member of Free Nations League. Russian world, or Ruski Mir, came to our land about 400 years ago. They came with powder, guns, and cannons. They killed old men, women, and children that didn't obey them. They forcefully changed our religion. They changed our names. They make us pay heavy taxes. 400 years passed by, but it didn't change much. But instead of fur pellets, we pay now with gold, diamonds, oil, and gas. And that's how the foundation of empire was built. So since then, the main idea of Russian Empire is expand by getting new territory, conquer new nations, and exploit natural resources on a new land. Even after Russian Empire fell in 1917, the idea of world domination didn't disappear, but grew up even bigger. Finland, Poland, Lithuania, Latvia, Estonia, and other countries, they couldn't resist the power of Soviet war machine. However, it was not enough for the USSR. You remember Cold War days and tension between our countries when USSR was so strong and powerful. In 1991, the whole world felt safer when USSR collapsed. Russia once again lied and played a role of a democratic country, but not for long, and now it's showing a true face. Based on historical facts, it is just a matter of time when we will see new expansional war. We are all lucky that Russia is corrupted and incompetent, poor, so it's stuck in Ukraine and didn't go any further. Russian-Ukraine war proves that Russia is still hostile. We all remember two Chechen wars. That's terroristic act of Kremlin with a lot of civilian casualties. And I don't understand why Western countries didn't put heavy sanctions that time, but instead they give cheap loans and access to technologies. And I'm glad that now, finally, that whole world is awakened and sees Russian Empire real aggressive phase. Okay, now the main idea of my speech. Okay. So while Russia has big territory filled with natural resources, has money for rockets, bombs, battleship, and tanks, Moscow will not hesitate to use it. The solution is easy. No money, no guns. Russia without big territory and endless resources is not going to be dangerous in future again. And if you all want the peaceful future for our children, Russia has to be divided. Life in Republic Sakha is not easy. Wintertime temperature goes down 80 degrees below zero. Just our existence is already challenged, but living under Russian oppression makes it 100 times harder. Corruption, broken infrastructure, poor people. All mineral extraction taxes and other financing goes to Moscow. Our regional government in Yakutsk are appointed by Putin, so they are all puppets of Kremlin. Moscow wants to control everything, even opposition. So FSB or KGB makes sure that only politicians that loyal to regime can be in charge. We don't have our voices. We don't have real representation in parliament. People don't have power. So Moscow draining all our resources, leaving behind broken land and polluted rivers. Northern summer lasts only 3 months. However, there is catastrophic wildfires every year because there is no money for preventing firework. In 2021, there was a world record wildfires and carbon monoxide pollutions in the Republic of Sakha. Did Moscow help us? No. Only local communities, including children and women, was fighting the wildfires without any special equipment. Why would they risk their life? And the government didn't defend our rights before Moscow, didn't help with equipment, and there was no medical help either. It is why we don't trust our government. But despite all of that, we are survived and prevailed. We save our culture, our folklore, our language under Russian Empire through oppression of Soviet regime. In 1991, we wanted to be free, but Moscow lied to us again and made false promises about democratic federation. And now, thousands of civilians, men, forced to fight in this criminal war. That's it. We are done with Kremlin lies. We go separate way. My people are kind and hardworking. We do respect Mother Nature, and we're ready to be part of democratic world. We are ready to be free from Moscow oppression. Once again, like we did in 1917 and 1991. We wish to have our freedom again, but without support of Western countries, it will be very hard. We want to say thank you for all people that's standing against this evil empire. Big thanks to Ukraine and soldiers and civilians. You guys are awesome. We want to say thank you for the host for this opportunity to speak up. So nobody even checked my text, what I did. So big thank you. And I want to say thank you for audience, for your attention and for your future help and support. And we want to say thank you for my comrades. You guys are very bright and brave. It gives me strength in these dark days. So today, world is big and dangerous for a small nation. It's changing very fast. And I want to make sure that my people have right for a future. And I don't see this future with Russia. So thank you. And I want to finish with wise words of Ronald Reagan. Freedom is a fragile thing, and it's never more than one generation away from extinction. It is not ours by way of inheritance. It must be fought for and defended constantly by each generation, for it comes only once to a people. So we are ready for fight for our freedom. Thank you.
Thank you. Any questions from the audience? Yes, in the back.
There were already discussion today about China and its role in, east of Russia, east from Urals Mountains. So you in Yakutia and your friends, your colleagues, what do they think? Do they afraid Chinese occupation if Russian Federation collapses?
It is, I would say that we are going to be a Chinese colony even under the Russian occupation. So if you know, right now we have like our resources not only goes to the Russia, but now it's also goes to the China. It's drinking water, it's the energy resources, it's the lumber and gas. So do you guys know about Sila Sibiri, right? That's a big gas pipe that moves millions and millions gallons of gas straight from Yakutia to China. So I think that we are already not just colony of Russia, we already as colony of China. But I want to say that people of Yakutia do not agree with China in a lot of things. For example, the Uyghur people oppression. So it's like we see it as a danger for us. We have democratic point of view. So I would say that Western, European, and American moral standards are closer for us, even though we are nearby the China. So in the future, we would love to have cooperation with the whole world, but we are like democracy. So we want to be with free countries. Thank you.
Thank you. Any other questions? Yes, Gunther.
Yeah, this was an excellent speech. I wish freedom for Sakha. And my question is about the neighboring republics. Have you already agreed with them how to arrange the borders and to have a peaceful relation with the other potential states? states in the future to be emerging out of ex-Russia?
I think that that was one of the politics of the Soviet regime when they mixed up the administrative borders. So I think they did it on purpose so local people won't have a peace. But to be honest, we don't have beef with our neighbors. We just was sitting there, having good conversation, and we have nothing to divide, nothing to fight for. I'm pretty sure we're gonna be good neighbors, and after we getting our independence, each differently, we're going to have some kind of alliance. That's that's how I see it. Thank you. Does that answer for your question?
Yeah, in a way, the question is because we have heard about Circassia and Kuban, for example, before.
Mm-hmm.
And the question is if you have similar potential conflict lines or you are...
No, we don't. We have so much land, so it's not going to be a problem.